Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to continue to be your daily advocate. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you who have been watching and following me for so long. It truly means a lot, and I'm glad that I can be this person.
$1.752 trillion market cap for crypto. We're off by a lot, ladies and gentlemen, but we're up 3.82%. It's February 4th, 2022. Good mid-morning to everybody. Right now, Bitcoin is at 37,000 plus, Ethereum 2,800, Cardano is $1.06, and Solana $103 and change. XRP 61 cents. The price range very quickly is 60 cents on the bottom and 62 on the top. Ladies and gentlemen, I Trust Capital is the best crypto gold silver IRA on the planet. And this is just a list of all the assets that you can invest in tax-free, because that's what this is all about. The only thing better than buying crypto is buying tax-free crypto, and that's what I Trust Capital IRAs are all about. Don't miss out. Link in the description right at the top. Take a look here. Let's get started. Whale Alert detected 2 large XRP transactions this morning carrying 20 million coins each, made approximately 10 hours ago. It does appear that 2 on-demand liquidity platforms of Ripple received the 40 million XRP just 1 hour from an unknown wallet. Well, you know what? We know that things are really ramping up around the world. Thank goodness it's not just about the United States SEC, although I do believe you will see when there's clarity either from that case or from the U.S. Treasury and the regulatory agencies involved, FSOC, OFAC, or Congress, or a combination of all three to contribute here. I do believe you are going to see a mass adoption take place in the financial world. My personal perspective is not financial advice. Coinbase users can receive tax refunds in crypto. And this is getting exciting, ladies and gentlemen, because when you click on this, basically Coinbase users can receive U.S. tax refunds in crypto as a part of the TurboTax deal. They've made an agreement with Coinbase, and you can now automatically convert it into crypto with no trading fees. We're getting closer. Now we just need them to accept crypto as tax payment. Then we got real money on our hands. That's where we're close to. We're getting closer. Africa's largest cryptocurrency exchange is looking to expand its foothold in the U.S. Owned by conglomerate Digital Currency Group, shout out to Barry Silbert, Luno is assessing regulatory regimes in all 50 states to allow for its rollout in the course of the year. Well, you know how this goes. There's a lot of drama right now with regulations. Nobody knows that better than Barry Silbert, so he must be feeling like there's some kind of clarity coming. Well, we're going to hear from Hester Peirce in a minute, and she doesn't. So we'll weigh that out, right? The big boys are still moving into town. Thailand relaxes tax rules for crypto investors, scrapping the 15% withholding tax. May want to move to Thailand. So check this out really quickly here. This is India still fighting over the crypto, which they've now allowed. I don't know, a few years of them fighting over that. And now they have it. They want to do a 30% tax proposal. And the people there that are investing in crypto are walking around like they got tax in their shoes. 52,000 signatures says we don't want it. So we'll see what comes from that. Central Bank of Ecuador is planning to issue cryptocurrency specific regulation later this year. Look, I tell you, all of this that we've just looked at so far, right? I mean, everything that we've looked at, what is it speaking to you? I can tell you what it's speaking to me. Whatever lack of clarity we don't have, it's going to get worked out, and it's getting worked out on a global level, not just in the United States. So, take a look here. This is Jeremy Hogan dropping nice insights here, reading about the Greek rebellion against the Ottomans, which just reminds me I need to do better, right? You know, cartoon books aren't going to do it. No, I'm kidding. I don't read cartoon books. But it does make me realize I should be doing more reading. And I am, in fact, thankfully, to a dear friend of mine. But the Brits traded rebellion bonds on the London Stock Exchange, which value change based on the military successes of the rebels. That is how a security behaves. Does XRP price correlate to anything Ripple does? That is a resounding no. And obviously here he shares the value of the Greek rebellion bonds rose and fell on the London Stock Exchange and the tempo with the military success and failures of the battlefields. Now that is really evidence that, look, we saw the valuation increase with Ripple XRP price moved for like 2-3 cents, and then it went right back down to 59 cents. So there it is. My fear that we've had to discuss the speculation of about XRP being a bond or security designation has been about the certainly the effort and mindset of Gary Gensler being the chair now at the SEC and really taking what appears to be a 180 from his teachings at MIT. And the concern that we've had there to have to speculate has really been about what? It's been about what will Gary do and how could we see a way forward, because we all, I believe, see XRP as a currency first. So, trying to understand as him as a regulator and how he could try to chase down a security designation for XRP, trying to attach it as a bond to the XRP ledger, not the Ripple company, and being a bond issuance. So that's the thing that still concerns me about Gary, because obviously, as I've said, when Gary Gensler's a hammer, everything he sees is a nail. So I hope we get what we need, which is XRP being a currency. That's how it works best, I believe, and possibly a stablecoin. Looking right here, SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce says crypto regulation is coming, just not this year. Gee whiz, Hester. Way to wet blanket the fun. Let's take a look at just a couple clips. I want to start with this one lined up right here at 4:53. And basically, she's going to talk about whether they're going to see some rules this year. Let's take a listen.
I think that that's the discouraging piece of it, that we're leading a lot of these charges through enforcement instead of taking the approach of using our rule book, our existing rule book, and our existing statutory authority, which tells us that we can make adjustments to the rules to accommodate new things and different things. So we should be working on creating that kind of a framework that works. But I just don't see it on the horizon based on what's in the regulatory agenda. And that leads me to fear that a lot of this work is going to be done through enforcement, which is not the right way to go about writing rules. You want to do it in a transparent way that involves all of the affected people, whether it's the people running the platforms or the people trading on the platforms. You want everyone to be able to have a say in how those rules look.
Exactly. And I think if there's anything that we could say, if we saw the SEC under Jay Clayton, William Hemmon's tenure, and Gary Gensler's continued tenure, really level the playing field for Ethereum to be held to the same standard that the rest of the industry is, including Ripple and XRP, I don't think any of us could have anything to say, could we? Other than we don't like it. But watching Ethereum above all other projects get that kind of clarity is absolutely disturbing when it comes to the integrity of the SEC, is it not? Let me move you to the next section right here I want you to hear, which is on stablecoins at 11:04. Let me get it forward here just for a second here. It's a top show here. It's nothing but the best for you guys is how we do it. So let me bring you in right here. I believe this will work right here. And this is on stablecoin section. Check it out, about 40 seconds.
Liquidity requirements?
I think it depends on what the stablecoin looks like, and some of they aren't all designed the same way. And so I can imagine that we might look at some of them and say they have securities-like features or money market-like features, but it really is it's a facts and circumstances analysis, and it's something that has to be done on a through a one-by-one process.
What's interesting to me there is, and obviously there are different kinds of stable coins, some backed by fiat, some backed by other assets, some are algorithmic coins. So there are different categories here. Although I would really love to see if the Treasury oversees money, then shouldn't they be a part of this whole thing with stable coins? We're going to see how that shakes out, because that may become a bigger issue on exactly that topic. Now, let me take you to another spot here, which is really, and she covers a spot that I'm not going to play about the spot ETFs for Bitcoin and why they haven't been approved. I firmly believe that, one, Gary Gensler wants to wrangle in the rest of the exchanges first, and two, doesn't the approval of the futures ETFs for Bitcoin give the advantage to the largest money holders, the institutions and hedge funds, because now you've given them a lever to short the market as well as to play it long. So that's my 2 cents on that. But let's get here to this point and let's see what we got here. Because at 1313, she's going to talk about NFTs, which is something I think is going to be an enormous area going forward, as well as DeFi and the metaverse. Take a listen.
Regulate NFTs or NFT trading?
We, as with many other things in the crypto space, there are places where they might intersect with the securities laws. And so I would like us to take a look at them and to offer people who are involved with NFTs some sort of guidance about where they might think about potential interactions with the securities laws, whether it's people who are fractionalizing NFTs and selling pieces of them, or other types of financialization of NFTs. It's something that we should be thinking about. And again, not leading with enforcement, but leading with a regulatory hand to help people navigate this very difficult territory.
It is a very difficult territory, and not to stand up for the SEC on this one, but some NFTs are obviously securities, right? But how do you handle NFTs that are in the music business for fans to participate, right? Or to sell your music as NFTs? And then obviously the owner of that intellectual property, that artist, can get a ongoing commission every time a fan sells that NFT to someone else. These questions are really, really important that they answer and get them right. So there's a lot here, but let's keep going because we got a lot more to look at here. And it's the Boston Fed says its prototype for the digital dollar of the United States can handle 1.7 million transactions per second. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what I wanted to tell you about it. I mean, there's other stuff to read in the article, and obviously many other things to take in consideration, and this, that, and the other they got to weigh out. And it's not launching next Tuesday or anything like that. But the reality is the numbers are staggering. The numbers are staggering. And when they drop this thing, something's going to be coming in a massive way. You can bet your bottom dollar on it. Taking a look right here, this is a reminder we covered the World Bank document from November 2021. I want to take you now to the part to just level set for those that haven't seen it. The World Bank refers to as just as recently as November of last year, XLM and XRP as stable coins is how they see those assets and how they can function. The question I have is, does that mean, well, look, stable coins are price set, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I don't believe they'd be price set at $1. I believe they could be price set at whatever level they needed to be. If you collateralize the ledger with multiple assets from around the world, collectively, you could provide a price floor or a one-to-one with a surplus, because the market could remain open on top of it as more and more utility and liquidity makes its way onto the XRP ledger, which in fact is a decentralized exchange for the world, which makes it a utility and a public good. Take a listen here. David Schwartz is going to tell it to us here, and this is the one I wanted to play for you. So take a listen to this, and this is a clip from back in November when David Schwartz says at a conference, in fact, that XRP Ledger is a public good, just as we talked about here on this channel multiple times. Take a listen. Well, maybe it'll play. 1 second. Let me get this straight so it'll play for us. Okay, here we go. Price of being a YouTuber with multiple tabs open. Check it out.
Ledger's hyper-efficiency and liquidity enables developers globally to support numerous use cases, from DeFi, payments, consumer applications. And you don't need anybody's permission to interact with the XRP Ledger, right? It's a public good.
Understanding that protocol is a decentralized ledger, then what we're really talking about is the ability to unlock those Nostro accounts and put a certain percentage of that collateral on that decentralized exchange for the world. And now you've provided a price floor or a price set that the financial world can count on, and they can use it every day, whether it's 3 to 5 seconds or holding it for a long period of time. They know that it will never dip below a certain amount. If we take assets and fiat from all the different sectors of the economy and industries and represent that on the ledger, the only way to truly sabotage that ledger and that token is for the world to end. And I don't mean that to sound too drastic, but that's the truth, right? So if there's a real true commitment for this to be a decentralized ledger for all the world's money and value, that's the only way to collapse it, right? So I offer the notion of what the World Bank has said recently in November 2021 report, that they refer to XLM and XRP as in fact stable coins. And the question we should really be asking is if they unlock a certain amount of collateral in stages, I think there's a potential at some point we could actually see XRP price control just the way you see the Federal Reserve controls the interest rate quarterly. And as collateral and utility and liquidity makes its way onto the ledger, you could see that adjustment by the Treasury and the Fed. And let's not forget, the Fed has really been tucked into the Treasury here in the United States per the last administration. Now, what I want to add to that is that understanding that maybe it's a more international panel. But the interesting thing here is that Stellar burned half of their supply, right? Or what they had in escrow back in 2019. Did they know something from the SEC? We know that we've covered here that the SEC has talked about forcing other projects to burn things. Maybe they had a private conversation with the SEC and Stellar decided to do it before it became an issue. The question here is what happens to the escrow here? If in fact we are right and the XRP asset is as important as we understand it to be, and I do believe that it is, not financial advice, and if we are right in assuming that the World Bank did not get it wrong, do you believe that the World Bank has it wrong? Do they have it wrong that XRP and XLM are not stable coins? Why would they put that in that report? So if it is, then it looks like a price set may be a very, very real conversation. I think we look to the early projects of stable coins and say, well, stable coins are like backed by dollar to dollar. In most instances, yes. Or like the DAO token, right? The DAI token or whatever on that network. And why it had problems. But if we open up the idea of backing it with more.
So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you. Leave any comments or questions below and be sure to subscribe. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I always have your back. So thanks so much, everybody.